Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome once again to Van Buren Variety. I am, of course, Bob Van Buren. I think that's what it says right there. Yeah, that's me. So, welcome to this special edition of Van Buren Variety. For those of you that watch this show live, yes, I am normally on the air on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central and 8 p.m. Eastern. That's our normal time, but at the time of this show, July 4th was on a Tuesday night. And many of you had stated that you wanted to go out and watch firecrackers, and yours truly was one of them. So, hey, we moved the show up one day, but next week we'll be back to our regular schedule, which will be every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Central Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And welcome to our newcomers that are here tonight. In case you're wondering what's going on here, this is a variety show. Every week I have an individual guest to talk about an interesting topic. Could be a profession. It might be a how-to segment. Could be some music coming up. Hey, it might be even something that they're just interested in, a hobby or whatever. So you never know what you're going to have. Every week's a different guest, and so you might want to hit that subscribe button up there and stay tuned because I've got some very, very interesting topics coming up. Interesting guests as always, so appreciate that. And I want to tell you too, if you like tonight's guest and you like tonight's subject matter, make sure you hit that like button. I'm sure my guests would appreciate that. And if you're not watching this show live, if you're watching this days, weeks, months, even years later, and you still have a comment or a question for the guest tonight, make sure you leave a comment there, and I'll make sure that he sees it. I'll forward that over to him. For those of you watching live, you're always welcome in the chat to ask a question. If you have a question for the guest or for me, you're welcome. So chat line is open right now. And so I appreciate everybody being on board. I'm going to display my email address up here. This is for everybody watching. This goes directly to me, the show. And what this is about, I'm just throwing an offer out there to everybody. If you have somebody that you'd like to see on the show that you think that would be an awesome guest, maybe they have a talent, they can play music, they have an interesting hobby, they have a special interest, something that they've been researching that they'd like to share, or you think that would be interesting, please, there's my email address down there. For those of you who are just listening on audio only, it's vbvarieties@gmail.com. That's vbvarieties@gmail.com. So if you've got any suggestions for the show, let me know. Tell me who you'd like to see or what kind of topic you'd like to see covered, and I'll see if I can get that done for you. And if you, wherever you're living, if you want some business cards, I have some cards now for the show. If you want to pass these around, post these at work, I got plenty of them, so just let me know where you'd like me to send them. I can also scan them and send them to you as well. So there's my email address right there. So hopefully we'll hear from you soon. Enough talking about me. I've got a great guest tonight. A lot of you have told me, and I've been listening, what you'd like to see on the show a little bit more. And a lot of you have said music. You'd like to see all kinds of genres of music. Well, then if that's the case, you won't be disappointed tonight. I've got a great guest tonight. Not only he's going to play for us live, we've also got a recorded song that he's recorded. And then he's also got some appearances that'll be coming up. So if you're in the local area where he's at, make sure you come see him and support him. So without further ado, let me bring my great guest on tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Adam Hall. Adam, welcome to the Van Buren Variety Show.
Thank you so much for having me, Bob. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so we'll just jump into it. We're going to hear your music in a minute, but kind of tell us your history. How did you get into music?
Well, I've been playing music in one form or another semi-professionally for the last 21 years,
Wow.
since I was about 18 years old. Now, granted, before that I played in band and kind of had the usual artistic upbringing. Didn't play a lot of sports, but did play in the band. I played saxophone and guitar. And then I started playing professionally when I was 18 years old at a club in over by TCU called the Aardvark.
Yes.
And I hooked up with a musician who was by the name of Les Farrington, who was in a band called Sugar Bomb at the time. They had a minor hit with a song called Hello, Hello that was in the movie Van Wilder and the movie Orange
Oh,
County.
wow. Yeah.
And so I learned the song just by ear, and then I showed up at this open mic night that he was hosting and asked him if he wanted to play together, and we did, and that led to me later on being hooked up with a band through a mutual acquaintance called King Friday that we played in all the
Oh,
clubs in
wow.
Deep Ellum and everything and all over Fort Worth for
Mm-hmm.
about a year and a half from 2004 to 2005. And then I started playing for a summer with my older brother, who's a bass player in the Metroplex. We played in a band for a guy named Colin Herring, who is an all
Mm-hmm.
country musician in the Fort Worth area, and had a lot of fun with that. I got to play some really neat gigs. And then later on, I was in college down in Stephenville at Tarleton State University, and I hooked up with a few different bands, just kind of being a hired gun guitar player. The most successful person I played with was a female by the name of Courtney Patton, who's
Huh.
out of Weatherford, actually, oddly enough, from there
Wow.
originally. And
Uh-huh.
she's now living in Stephenville, and her husband, Jason Eady, have had some success on the Texas country music charts, and got to play with her for about 5 years. And then
Mm-hmm.
eventually that led to me doing my own thing, and I've been playing full-time musician since about 2018. Before that,
Wow.
I was playing part time and teaching elementary school, and did that for about 10 years. Taught everything from kindergarten to second and third grade music to sixth grade mathematics, and then I decided I wanted to go and become a principal, and went to graduate school and got my master's degree and went to principal school, and got right to the end of principal school, and I decided this just isn't for me, and I decided to
Mm-hmm.
become a bum musician instead. So
We'll be the judge of that about the bum part.
yeah.
I mean, you must have lots of patience teaching all those classes and all those grades, huh?
Yeah, no, I enjoy it very
Did
much.
you?
That's one of my skill set things is having some patience. I teach guitar lessons right now,
Oh,
about 30
cool.
students every week, and I have age 4 to 84, and um, all ability levels and everything, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy making the connection from not being able to play at all to being able to play something, and
Sure.
that's kind of where I specialize myself and my curriculum that I'm crafting, and being able to get anybody that wants to the ability to play guitar or ukulele. I also play the ukulele as well. So,
Oh,
but that's kind of my passion right now is
perfect.
not only performing music but teaching music as well.
Actually, that brings up to my next question too. You mentioned guitar and you mentioned ukulele. What other instruments or all instruments do you play?
I can dabble on a lot of them. I can play a little bit of bass. I can play. When I was a music major in college, we had to take string class and brass class
Sure.
and woodwind class and percussion class. So we had
Mm-hmm.
to develop a basic skill set on all those instruments that you see in a typical high school band.
Sure.
But my main instruments are guitar and ukulele. I played ukulele for a Hawaiian dance group
Wow.
called Grace Hula and Dance out of Dallas
Oh,
for
wow.
about a year, and got to play some really neat gigs at the Gaylord and for thousands of
Wow.
people, and
Perfect.
a lot of other luau parties and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And it was a really neat experience to get to do that while the hula dancers were doing their thing. I got to play the music, so.
My question, and I know the difference between ukulele and guitar, but what would you say as far as playing goes? What's the difference between the two?
Well, the ukulele has 4 strings and the guitar has six,
Oh shit!
and
You told me
ukulele
something I didn't
strings. So
know.
there you go. Less strings, a little bit easier. There's a lot of similarities too in the chord shapes that you play
Oh
on
really?
both instruments, although the tuning's a little different. But there's a lot of crossover. I recommend for smaller children, if they don't have a small guitar that they can play, ukulele is a great stepping stone to being
Okay.
able to transition to the guitar eventually. Um, the strings are made out of nylon, so they're a little softer than the strings on a guitar.
Perfect.
So it doesn't hurt your fingers quite as much. It's a little bit smaller, so most of the little kids' hands can fit on there, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't bother them as much as a big guitar might. So
Okay.
it's they're both similar, and they both have their own little unique challenges and everything. But I've enjoyed teaching and playing both of them.
Sounds great. Sound like you got a busy schedule.
I do. Yeah, I teach every day of the week, and
Wow.
then on Friday mornings I teach in another town called Santo, Texas. On Thursday evenings I teach in Lipan, Texas, and then Monday through Wednesday I teach here at my house from about 3 to 8 o'clock,
Wow.
and it's pretty full in all those time slots and everything. And then gigs on the weekend and church gigs on Sunday morning sometimes, and everything. So it's a pretty busy schedule, but
Perfect.
I wouldn't like to be doing anything else. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I really enjoy getting in front of people and teaching people, and just all the different things I get to do with music.
Well, perfect. I've always heard the old saying that if you enjoy what you do, it's really not a job.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm surprised when I get paid to do what I do, honestly,
Paid
because
to have fun.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
paid to have fun, really. I mean, there are some stressors and things like that that come with being an entertainer, as you probably well know.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, they're unique, and if you don't mind them as much as some other stressors and other jobs, then it really does become something that you're passionate about, and it doesn't feel like you're working at all. So
Absolutely. Well, let's just jump right into it, Adam. I'm sure everybody's standing by with bated breath. You got a song for us right now?
yeah, I got a song. Let me grab my guitar right quick, and
Okay.
I'll
I'll
play a
turn the
song.
show over to you. And ladies and gentlemen, here is Adam Hull. Enjoy.
Okay. This is a song I wrote. It's my first single. It's about kind of those moments in your life where you can't believe what's going on. You wonder if there's a candid camera on you or something, and how reality is really stranger than fiction, than anything that any writers in Hollywood or anything could come up with. And this is a song called "Even Hollywood." It goes like this. Well, my life is like a movie. Big pictures wanna sue me, 'cause they think that I've been stealing all their lines. Although I fibbed and fabled, truth is on the table. Even Hollywood can't write a life like mine. When I was young I questioned cause of my transgressions, not knowing it was scripted in my genes. Directors never told me how to stand or scold me for the things I did when I was behind the scenes. Well, my life is like a movie. Big pictures wanna sue me, 'cause they think that I've been stealing all their lines. Though I fibbed and fabled, the truth is on the table. Even Hollywood can't write a life like mine. Forget about your screenplay. It's born to do things my way, or otherwise I'd probably go insane. It's never been my mission to get their recognition. There'll never be an Oscar with my name. Well, my life is like a movie. Big pictures wanna sue me, 'cause they think that I've been stealing all their lines. Though I fibbed and fabled, truth is on the table. Even Hollywood can't write a life like mine. Set out for Tinseltown when I was 17. Fresh faced and out of place, chasing down my dreams. Not knowing all along the same thing could be found. We're starring in the leading role in drama in this town. don't need no green screen, 'cause you can't fake what I've seen. My memory holds the pleasure and the pain. So keep your Maseratis, jet planes and paparazzi. I live without the fortune and the fame. My life is like a movie. Big pictures won't sue me, 'cause they think that I've been stealing all their lines. Though I've lived in fable, truth is on the table. Even Hollywood can't write a life like mine. Even Hollywood can't write a life like mine.
All right, very good. Did you write that song as well?
I did write that song, yes.
That was perfect. Now I want to say during the show, through no fault of your own, there's always gremlins up there. The sound went down a little bit. It didn't go down completely, but we still heard you though, so it still sounded good. So yeah, it wasn't bad at all. So yeah, I'm going to ask you the same question I ask other musicians when they finish their first song. More than likely, there's someone out there going to ask a question pretty soon, either now or later. Hey, how do I get this guy's music? So you've got some music recorded, and if they so, where can they go to get it?
Well, I got that song actually recorded. That was the first song I released. One of the best places to find my music is on Spotify.
Spotify.
It's what a lot of people do nowadays, or Pandora. Either one of those streaming services. You can find me under Adam Hull, Hull. You can also find me on iTunes and Apple Music under Adam Hull. You can find me on YouTube for free, streaming this song and another one that you're going to play in just a minute, I believe. And then I got some songs that are to be released later this year that I've already recorded that I'm just waiting on. One of them is a song about mineral wells that is going to have a music video that goes along with it. So I'm working with Johnny Goodday, who used to do the news here in Mineral Wells for a little bit, and he's a great videographer, and he's working on a video with me to accompany that song. So I'll probably play that song to wrap things up this evening.
Perfect. Let me display your website for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, we got AdamHullMusic.com. So can they see like upcoming events? Can they contact you? Any music? Kind of what would they see if they go to your website?
If you go to my website, you'll see a picture of me smoking a cigar, because I'm a cigar aficionado. I have stickers made of the same image. And then you'll find, if you click on the music page, you'll find videos, links to my YouTube videos, a couple of things that I've recorded in their original format, and then a couple of live versions of some songs. And then there's a performance I did a couple of years ago for a virtual getaway during the pandemic that's at the ballroom of the Crazy Water Hotel.
Oh, really?
There's an appearance that I did on Channel 8 News a few years ago. Singing a love song about my favorite news anchor, Miss Cynthia Izagate, which we'll get into that story at some point.
We'll definitely do that.
And then you'll see a list of upcoming events, places I'm playing. I need to reformat that, I just realized before the show. But it does list, I think, where I'm playing, which I'm playing a couple of gigs this weekend. Crazy Eights here in Mineral Wells. Used to be Fuzzy's Taco Shop a while back. And then it was Downtown Cantina, which I know you'll have one in Weatherford as well. And this one is now called Crazy Eight Sports Bar and Grill, and they're celebrating their second anniversary. And I'm kind of headlining the show. I guess they were really desperate. they
know talent when they see it.
That evening and everything. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And then if you're in the Weatherford area, I'm going to be playing at Antebellum Ale House on Sunday evening from 6:30 to 9:30 as well. So,
well, let me tell my audience, my worldwide audience, that if you're wondering where Mineral Wells and Weatherford are, they are in Texas, USA. So some people might be scratching their head, Mineral Wells,
exactly, yeah.
There's a Weatherford, Oklahoma, but that's not it. It's just the Mineral Wells and Weatherford, Texas, where this guy's going to be playing. So
there you go. And there's a Mineral Wells, Virginia as well, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, wow. Yeah, there's a couple of Mineral Wells out there, but we're probably the most famous, I think, so here in Texas. But yeah, that's good to know and clarify, because I do have a few listeners on my Spotify I noticed the other day from Norway and a couple other foreign countries, and
Wow.
it was kind of interesting to see some people
Interesting.
listening from way across the world and everything. It's exciting. It's what it is, really. So.
That's perfect. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give my audience a little sample. You've got a recorded song that I think a lot of people are going to recognize, but ladies and gentlemen, you will love Adam's version of this song. In fact, when I saw the title, I thought, I know I've heard that before, but man, you haven't heard it like this one, and I know you're really going to appreciate it. So if I can do this, if I can share my screen with everybody, we'll get on that, and we'll play that right now. And I'll also display your website. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
You must understand, though the touch of your hand makes my pulse react, that it's only the thrill of boy meeting girl, opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. We must try to ignore that it means more than that. Why
Yeah, it might help if I unmuted this.
Okay.
Yes. We're back. Yeah, that was awesome, Adam. I really loved it. I mean, I liked it because it was very, very. I should say it was rock, but I really liked the mellow part of it. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of. I was going for like a haunting vibe, I guess, with it. I
Yeah.
changed some of the major chords to minor chords, and detuned my guitar about 4 steps. That's why I'm not playing it live. Is just because I have to retune for that song. But yeah, I worked with a producer down in Fredericksburg named Taylor Tash, who's played for everybody from Maren Morris to Deep Blue Something to Ryan Cabrera. Lots
Wow.
of very famous, successful artists and everything. He's a producer now, and he had some great ideas that helped my vision kind of come to fruition on that particular song. So, and then of course, unfortunately, lost Tina Turner back about
A few months ago.
and
Yeah.
so my hand was kind of forced to release the song as much as I was hoping to stretch it out, and I just released a single that same week, and then I said, well, the time is right. I got to release this now, and people are going to want to hear it. I think with the tribute and everything.
It was perfect. Yeah. I guess now to make a suggestion, you ought to try "We Don't Need Another Hero," Thunderdome. That might be a good one.
That'd be really cool.
It's
like
kind of
that
got
one a
that
lot.
same vibe as "What's Love Got to Do with It?" in a way.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to record that?
That one actually took about a day and a half, really.
Not
we
bad.
worked pretty fast. So I was down at the studio for 4 days. We ended up doing 5 songs. That one was kind of the most involved, I think.
Oh, really?
The producer Taylor laid some guitar stuff down on it.
Yeah.
Really added a lot of ethereal effect to the whole thing, and it really made it really haunting and powerful and everything. So he took my idea and ran with it and did a great job with it. So
It sounded really good. You did a good job. He did a good job. Everybody that was involved with that is great. And well, I'll just ask you the question again. People that are just now tuning in on that song you just played, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" Can they purchase that song now? Is that
yes,
available
they can
for purchase?
They can stream it on YouTube, stream it on Spotify, or download it on iTunes if you want to, or any other reputable music source. When you do these releases nowadays, there's a couple of companies you can work with. One of them is called TuneCore, and basically you upload the file and upload the image that you want to go with the file, and it pushes it out to like 50 or 60 different stores and streaming
cool.
services out there. Basically, all of them that there are in the world that are popular, it'll push it out to all of them and everything. So it's very interesting how it works nowadays. I hadn't released anything personally of my own in a long time, and it's changed. The game has changed in the last 10 years.
It has.
With Spotify and everything. And it's not necessarily changed for the worse, I don't think either, because with things like Spotify, even though we only make fractions of a penny for each stream, we're making something, and it's not just being stolen on LimeWire or Napster or something like that.
Right.
So it's enabling the artists to make a little bit of money off of their product and their art, and that's
Which they should.
They should definitely. So
It is their creative property. So
yeah.
Definitely. So let me ask you: do you have a certain label? I guess you could say genre. How would you describe? Is it like alternative? Would you consider it rock? Is it independent, or is there anything?
Weird, because I'm kind of all over the place, and I'm the same way with my listening. I listen to just about every genre. Everything from my influences are everything from Huey Lewis to Bowling for Soup to David Garza to
A little bit of everything.
and Steve Vai and rock guitar players like that. I'm all over the place, and so when I write something, nowadays it's been more of the Americana, Texas country genre.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the even Hollywood song I would put it in the Americana thing, but then the Tina Turner I would put that in like an alternative genre.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little bit all over the place, and that's that's to my detriment sometimes when people are trying to book a specific style, and I say, well, I can play, pretty much whatever you want me to play. Just
Yeah, sure.
pay me what you want. I used to do classical guitar at the Culinary School of Fort Worth for all their brunches for
Oh, wow.
about 10 years. So I did that stuff. I played in the jazz band at Tarleton and got to play with
You've
Grammy
been everywhere.
composers and everything. So yeah, I got to be all over the place with my musical efforts, and I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I do like the pop and alternative stuff the most, as far as what I think really speaks to me. But I do like. I've come around to the country stuff a lot too. I didn't used to listen to country music growing up very much,
Hmm.
but that seems to be the hotbed of where popular music is at now. Is in the country genre.
It's kind of going over there now. Yeah, for sure.
With the stations that spin it around Texas and everything, they seem to spin more local artists on the country stations than any other format. So it's really nice to see that they're supporting local like they are.
You mentioned Huey Lewis. I really liked Huey Lewis in the news, and been along with him. I remember some of my favorite bands were the Cars.
Yeah, I
like
love the Cars. I played Drive every gig at the club.
Oh,
every
wow, I
gig.
love that
Yeah,
song.
it's like, who's going to drive you home if you've been partying too hard tonight? And
Yeah,
that's what I close it out with. Today's actually Huey Lewis's birthday.
it's 73 is what I read.
73, and I got to meet him. Yeah, I have a picture.
I saw that picture online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I posted it today. I post it every year because he was such a powerful influence on me as a kid. I mean, my age, I grew up with Back to the Future, and
Oh, absolutely.
that was a big influence on me. The whole movie, as far as playing guitar and everything, and then the original music that he did with Power of Love and Back in Time. And I've seen him in concert about 3 times. And then when I was in a layover in Utah, Salt Lake City, it was funny because my girlfriend at the time, we had flown into Salt Lake on our way there, and we were headed to LA, and she met the actress Lori Petty, who was in Point Break and
Yes,
Free
I
Willy
remember her.
and Orange is the New Black most recently and everything. And she said, that's like if you met somebody from Back to the Future, Adam. That would be like just the same thing. And so on the way back, oddly enough, I met. I was looking. I had my eyes open and I was looking, and he had glasses and a hat on, and I said, "You're not going to believe this, but that's Huey Lewis over there." And I knew he kind of didn't. I had read at least that he didn't like to be approached a lot and things like that. So I was very coy about how I did it. I kind
Hmm.
of snuck over to him and put my camera. I talked to him for a second about golf, even though I don't play golf. I know he does. I had just played golf for the first time ever in my life earlier that year, and we talked about that briefly. And then I said, "Do you mind if I get a picture?" And I try to be really polite about that stuff because I know
Tiptoeing.
it's old and like that. And I just kind of put the camera down here and took a picture of it and everything. And he was very kind about it
Wow.
and everything. And it was
That's
nice.
awesome.
It's always nice when you meet your heroes and they're very nice. That's
Absolutely.
a relief. So.
Well, that's awesome. Because real briefly, I had the opposite happen. I won't say who the actress was, but I admired this actress. This has been 20 years ago now, and I watched all of her movies. But when I saw her in person, I mean, she was one of those "Don't touch me, you brute. Look, but don't touch." Wouldn't have pictures with the fans.
Yeah.
Would only sign autographs if you bought her book.
Yeah.
And I just like that. Just completely blew everything. So I'm
It
glad your
destroyed
experience with you. What's that?
It destroys stuff when they act like that, and I understand to a certain extent. I mean, if you're a level of fame like something like Michael Jackson or Tom Cruise or something, it can
Oh yeah.
it can be I'm sure overkill to have to
Over
address
and
all
over and
the
over.
time.
Yeah.
But I think if I ever rise to any level of fame, I'm going to be as kind as I possibly can. I'm wearing a Roddy Piper T-shirt right now, Hot Rod.
I like that. I recognized it.
He was the nicest celebrity that I've ever met by far. I got to meet him at a Texas Frightmare convention over in Dallas at the airport.
They live.
And they live, man. It was promoting that and wrestling stuff, and this was shortly before he passed away in 2015. And I remember going over and and the line for him was really long because he took about 5 to 10 minutes to talk to every single person in line,
Wow, that's
and that
awesome.
made an impression on me, and I think if I ever, like I say, I rise to any sort of celebrity status, I would try to adopt a similar attitude, as Roddy Piper had, because he was so kind about it and everything.
Well,
Humble.
not if. Okay, this is not an if. When
When
you
okay,
make it, when you make it big. Remember, you were on the Van Buren Variety
I
Show.
will definitely remember that.
Well, enough about me, Adam. We'd love to hear another song. You got another song for us?
Yeah, I got another song. This is the song that I'm working on the video with Johnny Goodday. I've grown up here in Mineral Wells, Texas, all my life, and we're seeing kind of a resurgence right now with old buildings getting renovated. I'm sure people have heard, and they may not believe it, but the Baker Hotel, the big hotel in the middle of town, is being renovated,
It
and it is
is.
going to open, and probably, they pushed it back a little bit because I think people have to understand it's the largest renovation of a private property in the history of Texas, maybe even in the United States. I mean, it's such a big property,
Absolutely.
and it was in such disarray for a long time that they are working very hard. Mark Rawlings, who lives right down the street from me here, and his crew have been working for the past couple of years and are going to continue to work for the next, I think it's going to be 2 or 3 or 4 years before it opens, but it's going to be an amazing thing when it happens, and what it's going to do to here
Mm-hmm.
in Mineral Wells is going to be just amazing. We've got stuff popping up, not just the Baker Hotel, but we've had about in the last 3 years about 6 different music venues, bars and restaurants and things open. So whereas there used to only be 1 or 2 places to play, now I have 8 or 9 places to play here at Mineral Wells, and I can get paid the same to drive down the street as I can to drive to Midland or something like that. And that's
That's awesome.
exciting to me, and it's exciting to see all the artists that come through Mineral Wells and have roots here and are deciding to make this a stop on their tours and things like that, because it's really a special little town.
It is.
And
It really is.
so my song is called "Crazy in a Crazy Town."
Okay.
Some people think I'm crazy sometimes, and this is called Crazy Town because of our crazy water that we have here in Mineral Wells.
Absolutely.
And so it's kind of a serious song about some things that have happened in my life and other things, but
Okay.
ultimately the message is about truth, tragedy, and redemption. And the chorus is trying to do the right thing this time around. And I think we can all relate to that message of, maybe we've gone through something in our personal lives where we messed up and we're trying to get back on track.
Right
and
here.
do things right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me, definitely me. I'm a poster
Mm-hmm.
child for that. So yeah, this is a song called "Crazy in a Crazy Town."
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, Adam Hull. And Adam, I will display again your website while you're performing.
Okay, sounds
Here
good.
we go.
He never left this town much like his dad, but it was hard to stick around after things went real bad. Lost a wife and a girlfriend just like that old song. Was lucky when the right one finally came along. Two star-crossed lovers just living in sin, shamed and defamed by the so-called Christian, embraced by the outcast and the ones who are down. Home is where the heart is, and the heart home is found. I'm living crazy in a crazy town, trying to do the right thing this time around. Drink up water, but careful don't drown. I'm living crazy in a crazy town. I can't believe what I see going on, but I best just keep quiet till the feeling is gone. Where is the hero that'll turn this around? The cutout is the tongue, so it won't make a sound. I'm living crazy in a crazy town, trying to do the right thing this time around. Drink up the water, but careful don't drown. I'm living crazy in a crazy town. I was a dreamer till I heard what it meant. We've all been told dreams aren't worth the cent. I'll never understand why some are so mean. So love it or leave it if this ain't your scene. I'm living crazy in a crazy town, trying to do the right thing this time around. Drink up the water, but careful don't drown. I'm living crazy in a crazy town. I'm living crazy in a crazy town, trying to do the right thing this time around. Drink up the water, but careful don't drown. I'm living crazy in a crazy town. I'm living crazy in a crazy town. I'm living crazy in a crazy town. I'm living crazy in a crazy town.
Oh, I love that. Are you sure you didn't write that up? Are you sure you didn't write that song about me? Because I did some stuff when I was a teenager.
I think we all relate on various levels, so yeah.
When I was a teenager and even into my 20s, you can ask my friends. I was crazy, living in a crazy town. So I did some things that just, I look back and I'm like, was I really that stupid?
There you go. I do the same thing about myself a lot, so.
And see, my friends, long story short, they really don't like me that well because when I was young and crazy and I was throwing all these wild parties, I got the wild hair too. You know what? I should rent a video camera and tape some of this.
There you go.
Needless to say, those tapes, those recordings don't leave my house.
There you go. Yeah.
So I'm like, because I thought, people say, you could blackmail people with that. I'm like, I can blackmail myself with that.
There you go.
So, hey, we were all crazy in a crazy town, right?
There you go, yeah. Definitely.
So you wrote that song as well.
I wrote that song as well, yes.
Would you say it's kind of like an autobiography?
Parts of it are. For sure. So yeah, definitely. So
that was a good song. I really enjoyed that.
well, thank you.
Oh wow. So when you write songs, do you base it on your life, or is it just something that you think about? You know, it might be a good song to write about, or is it a bit of both, real life and maybe fantasy?
You know, I've heard different things, philosophies for songwriting. A lot of my stuff comes from my life. I've also heard, Glenn Fry and Bob Seger said one time it's kind of like being a news reporter and reporting on other people's lives too.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done as much of the news reporting side of songwriting. It's more about my own life and my own struggles. I pull from that, and that seems to be my creative hotbed right now. Is pulling from things that have happened to me in my own life, and trying to make it ambiguous enough that other people can relate to it as well. So that's the trick with writing anything that's personal. You want it to be personal and have your own personal touch that you can relate to, but you don't want it to be so personal that nobody else can relate to it either. So so that's kind of the challenge, I think, with a lot of songwriting for me, at least. So.
That's awesome. Now, what kind of guitar do you have right now? What is that?
This is a late 70s, early 80s Yamaha.
I see.
It's a Yamaha FG331.
Okay.
So it's vintage. It's got a little
awesome.
bit of wear and tear on it on the body and everything.
Looks good.
I got it. I'm a big Yamaha fan. Maybe I can get an endorsement deal with them at some point. Talking.
Yeah, go ahead. We can give a commercial. Come on.
I got it at Garrett's Pawn Shop here in Mineral Wells, Texas, which is a place where I got my first guitar a long time ago. It's actually up on the wall behind me here. It's an art piece now. It was a harmony guitar that the strings were like way off the guitar neck, so it couldn't hardly play it. But I turned it into an art piece with it's got a picture of Jose Feliciano on the back.
Oh, okay. All right.
Guitar players. Another big influence for me is
absolutely
Jose Feliciano. So. But yeah, so I got this guitar. I got it just a few months ago, actually, and I've been playing it ever since. It only cost me about $200, and it came with a case. And
that's not bad at all.
Great deal, and it plays in tune great. I used it on the recording, and I'm real pleased with it. It was a great purchase for me. So
absolutely, I want to share with you some comments from the audience. Gary saying this guy's good. Loved his version of What's Love Got to Do with It.
Oh, great.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
And then also on a personal note, he also said he used to play a Yamaha as well.
There you go. They're popular guitars. They're great guitars.
Okay. Now, I'd like to say something, or kind of review something you said at the top of the hour. Not only you're a singer and songwriter, but you also give guitar lessons. You said that?
I do get to give guitar lessons, yes.
Do you go to people's houses, or do you meet like in a classroom session, or kind of how do you do that?
A little bit of both. Mostly on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I have people come to my house in my living room, and I teach there. On Wednesday nights, I teach at a place on the old Fort Walters base called Addiction Recovery Ministries. I have a couple of students out there that are both facilitators and people going through the program out there and getting their lives together. And
I'm glad to hear that.
Relate to that. So, and then Thursday evenings, I teach a family down in Lipan, Texas. I go to their house, and then Friday mornings, I teach a family down in Santo, Texas, and I go down to their house and teach them. So, I do travel and go to people's houses when I can. Luckily, Lipan and Santo are relatively close to Mineral Wells. I know in Weatherford there's a few different teachers over there that are great. I took some lessons over there when I was in college at Weatherford College with a great guy named Christian Hutton. I think he's still over there teaching either at the college or somewhere in the area. He's a great guy. So hey out there, Christian, long time no see. And then they got Craig's Music over there in Weatherford as well, which is a great place that I take guitars for repairs and send people to when they're looking for their first guitar purchase as well. So.
Oh, that's perfect. On a personal note, I kind of have I wasn't around when that happened, but before I was born, my father was stationed at Fort Walters.
Oh, really?
But it was still a base. So, yeah, I got that connection to Mineral Wells, too. So I know about that. That was long before I was born, though. So,
yeah.
Okay, well, we still have some time. Adam, do you have another song you'd like to play for us?
I could try to play one. Yeah, I could do one. This is another song that's on my Spotify, and it's on iTunes and everything as well. It's a really fast song with a lot of words in it. Let's see if I can do it without running out of breath. It's kind of about two completely different things, and when I was writing it, I just kind of split it down the middle, and I said, okay, I'll just call it this and that. And so it's about girls that and some of the things that they do that can be deceptive to guys that are in relationships. Let's put it that way.
Where have I've had that experience.
A little bit about that, and then it's about some of the. I hate to be typical and use this word, but hypocrisy that comes with some aspects of organized religion. Now, that being said, I don't want to get political or hurt anybody's feelings. I do attend church regularly, and I play at churches and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. It's just, I think anything out there where people can be too righteous, self-righteous maybe.
Yeah, that's a good bit.
That judgment that comes along with it. I've been a victim of that in my life, and perhaps I've done some judging myself to not absolve myself of any guilt there. And so this is a reminder to that the only person that can judge you is the man living in the skies, and that's
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay,
that's
ladies and gentlemen,
chorus
once
of the
again
song.
is Adam Hull.
Thank you.
Here's a little story just sit right there about the girl that got away and the guy that didn't care, 'cause it's he said, she said, never really comes to an end. Everybody tells you what you already know, so you lay down, face down, and play your role to perfection. No objection to affection that can show some other poor forgotten soul. Wait your turn, and you soon will learn the harsh reality. Broken hearts, broken carpet burns, and knees from time to please the people that you see for the judgment, fake concern. Tell me why everybody's judging me with overzealous, jealous eyes. This eyes, they're the judge and jury for the man living in the skies. Hypocrisy is just like a disease, rides on the backs of the rats like the fleas. Gonna scorch this earth of all its worth, steal the pretty babies, leave the afterbirth. But the truth of the matter is I never should have known it right from the start. When I saw a pretty face and I saw the empty space in the place where there should be a heart. Funky like a junkie on the street downtown, you gotta say so to pay the toll just to get around. Tell the preachers on the street, 'cause they really wanna listen. Give you free advice, but the child for the mission. Tell me why everybody's judging me with overzealous, jealous eyes. Despise, they're the judge and jury for the man living in the skies. Ba 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 dee doo doo, ba 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 dee doo doo, 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 ba ba boom ba boom ba boom ba doo 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 doo. Once there was a sure thing, spring queen, prom queen, thought you was a total pole. Tried to catch me on an off day, but still I made a getaway. I'm not the kind that doesn't know. And if you think so is fake, well then you must have been mistaken me for some other brother you know. 'Cause I'm the song swing, the king of the ring. Check my flow in the songs I sing, political love in the weights and the wings. Next big thing, you know what I mean? Tell me why everybody's judging me with overzealous, jealous eyes. Decide they're the judge and jury for the man living in the sky. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why, tell me why everybody's judging me with overzealous, jealous eyes. Eyes, decide they're the judge and jury for the man living in the skies.
Oh, awesome again, Adam. Man, you talk about fast talk, it was.
Got a lot of words to it. Sure.
And I'll say you memorized all that. Wow,
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
Thank you.
But it's I like it because it also has an inspirational message to it.
Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely does. And it's
Yeah.
got a positive message. The version I have recorded online is a live version that I played with my older brother and younger brother at a church, actually right next door to my house, St. Luke's Episcopal Church. So it's kind of interesting that it was recorded in a church, and it's about kind of this Holy Spirit
Sure.
and everything. So, and yeah, it's a neat little song, I think. So.
Yeah, I like it because sometimes I am my own worst critic. I'm
Oh
my
yeah,
own self-judge.
definitely.
Sometimes I
Same
think,
here. Same here.
I've screwed up. This is the end of Bob. There's no sense going on. But I gotta okay, I gotta pick myself up.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's a little hard. So that's kind of I like it. It's a really a pick me up song too.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so okay. Well, I'm gonna just kind of go through this again. Let's talk about your website again.
Okay.
If somebody maybe want to contact you, just drop you a line. Hey, great song, or maybe they have some questions about your song, where they can see you. Is there a way on this website they can contact you?
Yes,
Send
on
you a
the
message?
last page, there's about 4 pages on there on the website. I think it's an about, music, calendar, and then contact or message me or whatever. If you go to that last page, you can send me a message, and it goes directly to my email. And you can ask me anything, or if you want to collaborate on a song. I like to write songs for people and with people and everything. So that's another option. Or if you just have questions, or you want to tell me I'm terrible or tell me I'm great. Either way, I'll accept it. Any press is good press. So if you're interested in interacting with me in any way, positive, negative, whatever, you can reach me there on the website. So.
Absolutely. And just kind of tell us again now, any upcoming appearances. I know you said at the top of the hour, but we've had some people log in since then.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
what's coming
I'll
up
be
soon?
this Saturday night from 9 to 11. There's actually going to be music going on all day from noon to 11 at night. I'll be playing from 9 to 11 at night.
That's Saturday, July the 8th, right?
July the 8th, that's
Okay.
right, at Crazy Eights here in Mineral Wells, Texas. It's Crazy Eight Sports Bar and Grill, and there's going to do a great thing. There's a great program called Real Texas Radio that broadcasts out of there every Sunday afternoon. And I
Okay.
think they're the ones running the sound for this second anniversary party on Saturday. So maybe they'll be even doing some broadcasting or something
Hope
as
so.
well. So that'll be neat. And then on Sunday, I'll be in the Weatherford area from 6:30 to 9:30 at Antebellum Ale House, which if you've never been there, they've got delicious drinks and delicious food. Whether you drink alcohol or not, I don't currently drink alcohol myself, but they got mocktails and things like that are really good. And
Mocktails,
they've
I
got
like that.
root beer on tap that's really delicious. So I highly recommend that. And the food as well is great. So and the great people there at Antebellum Ale House as well. So.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to it, and then we're looking forward to seeing your website. I'm sure we'll see more appearances coming up soon.
Definitely. I got some stuff. I just booked some stuff today for August and September and stuff going into the fall. I'm looking forward to playing a lot this fall and having that song "Crazy in a Crazy Town." Hopefully, that the video will be out at some point in the next couple of months here. So I'll keep you posted about that.
Yeah, well, I'm a crazy guy, so I fit right in.
There you go.
Well, Adam, I'd love to have you. Thank you for being on the show, and I would love to have you back when you have some new material and some upcoming appearances. I'm sure that my audience would love to see you back here again.
Love to be back. Thank you so much for reaching out and having me on your program. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate it very much.
Okay, thank you, Adam, and good luck to you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good night. And ladies and gentlemen, I always tell this every week after week. We have a great guest on with great entertainment, and that 1 hour goes like that, doesn't it? But hey, don't worry. I told you, go to Adam's website, okay? So go check him out, adamhullmusic.com, and you're going to see some good stuff from this guy, I know. So, and he'll be back, hopefully, on Van Buren Variety. Would love to see him again. I know that you all would too. That's all for me tonight. But don't worry. Remember, we'll be back to our regular schedule next week. Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have another guest. And actually, next Tuesday is going to be kind of a comedy segment, and I'm going to have multiple guests talking about personal stories that they have encountered. I want to give you more information than that, and I will be involved in that as well. So, when things go wrong in life, especially when you're involved in a certain hobby. We're going to talk about everything and anything that went wrong. So I think you'll have a good laugh at our expense. That's next Tuesday, episode 120 of the Van Buren Variety Show. So hopefully you subscribed. And if you liked tonight's guest, if you liked Adam's music, make sure you hit that like button. And be sure you put the word out. Adam would appreciate that as well. So that's all for me tonight. This is Bob Van Buren for the Van Buren Variety Show. Good night, everybody, and I will see you next week.